Hey buddies, Mr. Pugly here, coming at you another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'm going to be showing you the black market location and every single item that's inside. After I show you the items, I'm of course going to go over to Sanctuary so we can test and see what each item can actually do. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch on the top right. You have no idea how much helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
So first things first, the planet that is going to host the black market machine is going to be Eden 6. It's going to be on Floodmore Basin, and it's going to be all the way right here where I have my little cyclone. So this location is actually pretty easy. It's only going to take you 10 to 15 seconds to get to. I already lowered the elevator, so I'm just going to drop down personally, and then all you're going to need to do is spawn a vehicle and just literally fall off this edge. Once you fall off this edge, there should just be really one jump to it, and you'll be there in just a few moments, so just bear with me. You can kind of see in the distance right over there on top of that house, so we're going to make a big jump. You see that big red machine, and it is right here. And there's actually a pretty interesting item in this particular vendor that has people a bit confused, so I'm going to explain that. You might already know what it is, but before I do that, this is location of the vending machine. I'm going to back away all the way, and let's see what's inside. So first things first, this is going to be a Hellwalker. Now the Hellwalker is fixed parts, so every single Hellwalker that you'll see right here is max damage, so you don't have to do any funny calculations at all. It's just spawns and fire. The only difference is going to be the anointment, so you could try to pick up your anointment if you'd like, if you're running low on iridium. It's one of the best shotguns in the game and just generally best gun in the game, so I definitely recommend to pick it up. It's excellent. And then we have a Firestorm. The Firestorm grenade's very fun. It really makes me think of spells in Tiny Tina Wonderlands because it kind of has a meteor effect that we are expecting in Wonderlands. It's decent, not really that great. And then finally is the Shrike. I think it's called the Shrike. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Now the Shrike, as you see here, are all fixed parts. They're all the same. I personally don't have one yet, so I'm just going to pick up one real quick, and I'll be explaining why you will probably want to pick up the Shrike, because it's an extremely rare item. Definitely pick this up. Now let's head over to Sanctuary so we can test the item. So first things first, let's talk about the mysterious Shrike. Now the Shrike is a very interesting gun. The one that we can find in vendors is a one of a kind. You can find a Shrike in the wild with the exact same part, and I believe even those exact same Shrikes that spawn in the wild don't even spawn with anointments. But what makes this gun so special, its code specifically says that it can only spawn in vendors, so this is an extremely rare variant of the Shrike. But what makes it so spectacular, so keep a mental image of how this gun looks right now. Now I'll be showing on the screen Zane's skill tree, and if you can see Zane on the right, you see him holding the gun, the actual model of the Shrike in his hand. So this is just a very amazing callback to Zane's skill tree. It's an extremely rare item. It's literally the item he's holding the model exactly in his hand. So it's basically a collector's item. It doesn't really do much else. I'll be showing right here that it has a burst fire up to 4 bullets and then has full auto, which shoots decently fast. The damage that it does is nothing spectacular. It does okay damage. I've seen people clear the Maliwan takedown and the Guardian takedown with this weapon, but that's because of health gating shenanigans. You could really clear any of those if you use health gating properly. It's a decent weapon. I'll go out in the field or maybe even try to kill Grave Roar with it. But if you're looking for a gun that's all about power, this isn't the gun for you. It's just a basic, nice shooting dull pistol. It just shoots like a regular pistol. And if you're a collector, please pick up this gun because it is a collector's item and it doesn't come around very often. It's extremely rare. Definitely pick this up if you can. Let's move on to the next weapon, which is going to be the Hellwalker. Now, the Hellwalker is a very obvious reference to the game Doom, where essentially you're a big buff Christian dude and you're killing demons, if you wanted to put it into just one sentence. And this gun is very reminiscent of the shotgun that you can get in the game. It even references demons. This might even be a quote from Doom. I'm not 100% sure. As I said, this is fixed parts, so this is max damage. It's only going to spawn in fire. If you hold it in your hand, you'll notice that there is, let me try to get to a better angle, but there should be like smoke that comes off of the barrel. Yeah, right there. So you can kind of see it. Let me try to get a little bit better. You can barely see it, but there's smoke that comes off of the barrel after you shoot. It's a very aesthetically pleasing gun, and when you shoot it, you can hear a guitar riff, which is very cool. And the guitar riff's the same no matter if you shoot it for long periods of the time But if you look closely at the bullet pattern that you shoot, you will notice that it's actually in the form of a pentagram. You can just barely see it. It's kind of right in the middle, so it's like a little star right there, if you guys already know. So, and then it has some bullets off to the side that's supposed to make the circle or even the triangle, whichever pentagram that you're most familiar with. Anyways, another cool thing about this gun that you will only hear if you have music on your game, which I normally don't because for recording purposes. If you were to pick up the gun off the floor, it actually has a special tune, but not when you pick it up regularly. Instead, you have to make sure you equip it when you pick it up. So I'm going to pick it up and listen real closely. So that's another reference to the game Doom when there's a lot of metal music that plays in the background, and that was just a nice little metal guitar riff to accompany and solidify the reference right there, which is very, very cool. As I said before, this is considered one of the best guns in the game. It deals tons of damage, as you see right here. I'm basically just shooting regularly, and we're able to hit up to 10 million damage casually very, very easily, and it's just a really fun gun to play with. I will definitely show myself killing Graveward really quickly with this gun because it's spectacular. And normally it's a one shot and then reload gun, but if you have magazine on your artifact, you should get 3 ammo, as you see on the bottom right, which allows you to shoot 2 times. Or if you're Moze, if you have redistribution or any other ammo shenanigans, or even if you're Zane, basically if you have any ammo regeneration, you're going to be able to shoot it for longer periods of time. So right here, I'm commonly able to shoot it up to 3 times as opposed to the regular 1 or 2. Next weapon is going to be the Firestorm grenade. Now this Firestorm grenade is one of my favorite grenades in the game. Granted, it's not very powerful, so don't expect any insane damage coming from this grenade. Of course, you can get decent damage from the grenade, but there's better damaging grenades out there. It can only spawn in fire, and it has multiple grenade parts. It's commonly referred to be a god roll if you have Rain Enlarge, which will then have the prefix, which I'm not going to try to pronounce and embarrass myself. It might be Diluvian. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. I'm very bad at pronouncing things, as you guys know. Personally, I like to get it as with a singularity rain personally, but to each their own. And what the grenade can do basically is when you shoot it, or when you toss it, it will send a meteor for each explosion that occurs. So the reason why the rain version is so good is because it explodes up to 5 times, because when the grenade disappears, it's considered another explosion. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's up to 5 procs of the meteor, and each proc will spawn 4 meteors. So let me go to the battlefield and actually show you how many meteors that spawn, because it's really incredible how many meteors that spawn. It's very, very fun. So I'm in a nice large area. I'm going to send it out. You'll see that there will be meteors that spawn out of the sky. It makes me think of the meteor spell in Wonderlands, so that makes me happy. I've always said that since this grenade has been around. I've always reminded me of a spell in an RPG. And it just makes me a little bit more excited for Wonderlands than it probably should. But it's nice to have this grenade as a way to remind yourself that Wonderlands is coming out in literally 29 days. And let me show you how much damage it does. Now, granted, before I show you the damage, this build could be a little bit better for grenade damage, but I'm still going to show you the damage anyways. It should be able to kill the casual enemies right here. So the one problem with this grenade is that you'll notice that the meteors spawn a little bit too late and the guys can get away pretty quickly. But if you have a singularity, you can kind of get them to stay in one place if singularities were better, but they're not quite that great. So as you see there, it's able to kill an enemy. It killed a couple of enemies. It took me around 4 grenades. It's definitely okay. It's not spectacular, but it's a fun grenade to play around with, definitely. And since I'm in the battlefield, let me show you the damage of the Shrike. So I'm going to be full auto. I'm going to just shoot this random enemy over here, and you'll notice that the damage is nothing that crazy. It's okay. It does okay damage. I could use some action skill N to make it a little bit better. It can't spawn with any anointments, as I said before, so it doesn't deal as much damage as it possibly could, but it does okay damage otherwise. As you see here, we're able to kill some enemies decently easy, but it's nothing spectacular. You definitely need to use some gimmicks to make it a little bit better, like ties that bind, or even some other stuff, but generally you want to use other weapons, but it's mainly considered a collector's item, so that's to be expected. Next, let's go over to Graveyards just so I can show you me speed killing him with the Hellwalker, because it's crazy how much damage this gun can do. So I'm just going to do the same setup as I always do. I'm going to enter exit Iron Bear. We're going to debuff the boss just a little, and then we're going to activate Elemental Projector on ourselves to give us more bonus elemental damage, and then we're just going to shoot him. I think that might have been just 2 shots that killed him. It might have been 3, but as you see right there, the damage of this gun is incredible. You got to try this gun out. It's so good. If you've never gotten it before and you need a gun that is just able to deal tons and tons of damage, since it's fixed parts, it's only going to be max damage, so pick up this gun if you haven't. And as always, a big shout out to the members who make these videos possible. We have Jason Noodles, Clairvoyant, 31 Bar 70, and Rick Iglesias. These are the people who support me as little as $5 a month, and you can also support me as little as $5 a month by clicking the link in the comments or description or on the top right to become a member. The more members we have, the closer I get to becoming full-time, which means more videos for you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.